Hi guys, hope all well over there. Good to connect through this video. And as I told you in the previous video, the basic requirement to crack the IRDA exam is all about a thorough understanding of 10 to 12 concepts. And this video is going to be the first session for our IC38 training program. And preparing for IC38 exam is a great deal, but you don't have to master the entire syllabus. So in this video I am going to talk about a few basic concepts, and before that, if you not subscribed yet, please do it. This channel is completely dedicated to enhance the financial literacy and investment awareness. So with this note, shall we dive in and talk about the subject? What is insurance? When I ask this question in my classroom sessions, and the very popular replies what I get from my audience would be like, sir, insurance means it is like security or protection, and it could be done for savings or investment. Yeah, so these answers look correct, but what do you think would be the appropriate question, the perfect question for these replies? The appropriate question would be, what if I had asked you what are all the outcomes of insurance, what are all the benefits of insurance, what are the advantages of insurance? This answer is correct. But most of the time we answer to this question without knowing what exactly is the insurance. So the main intention of this session would be understanding what exactly is the insurance. Yeah, so we will understand this quickly in next 2 minutes time. The concept of insurance came during 3000 years BC. The traces were found during 3000 years BC. Let us pick up an example and to understand this concept clear. Yeah, I'll build this example with a small story. Actually, there was a village, and this village comprises about few huts. Assume there were around 400 huts, and people in the village were living a peaceful life. But there is a problem in this village, and the problem comes because of calamity. What is the calamity? This village is completely surrounded by water. You can call it as village island or whatever it is. And in a particular season, this village is getting affected by something called as flood or tsunami, whatever it is you can name that. And ultimately, the sea water is getting into the living area. Yeah. So this is the problem continuously faced by these villagers, the hut owners. And the concept says this is called as burden. What is burden? Getting the flood affected this village. It's not a good news, it's a bad news for us. So the concept says this as burden. How do you define burden? It is very simple. Burden is nothing but unwanted load. Now what is the unwanted load in their heads? If flood happens, few huts might get destroyed. So that is what the fear for this entire community. Assume that we are also living in this community, we are also having our own hut. This year also this village might get affected by flood. It's not the good news. This bad news is nothing but burden. Okay, so this is the emotional burden, fear of losing hut. Now for this emotional problem, we have to find the emotional solution. For that we have to take the analytical and logical route. Let us talk about this analytical and logical route clearly. The one good thing what these villagers have done, whenever this village is getting affected by the flood, they were started maintaining a small record, and as per this record, in the first year when this village was getting affected by flood, they have lost 3 huts, and second year 2 huts, and third year 1, and fourth year 1, and fifth year 1, like this random numbers, and like this 2, 1, and 1, and 3, and 1. So what is the insurance? The major part of the insurance works on the principle of like probability, law of large numbers, and law of randomness. You will understand the concept behind calling this concept as probability, randomness, and large numbers clearly. So how many huts were there in the village? There were around 400 huts. So number of huts, 400. So insurance is also an engineering. What is engineering? Engineering is all about analyze the past data, work the present for the better future. Yeah. So this year also we may get affected by this calamity. And how did I anticipate that? Because last 10 years there were around 10 events. Last 10 years without fail this village was affected by calamity. So based on the previous incidents, previous experience, I can anticipate this year also this village might get affected by the calamity. And the next thing what I can anticipate based on this data would be, if flood hits now, I can predict how many huts could be destroyed and how it could be calculated based on the average number of the previous years. So how many events we have in the past record? We have around 10 events. And how many huts have we lost in the past 10 years? We have lost around 20 huts in 10 years, which means this year we may lose 2 huts. On an average it could be 2 huts, plus or minus 1, could be 3 or could be 1. So this is arithmetic mean with the standard deviation of plus or minus 1. So now what did I predict over here? If flood happens, the average destruction would be 2 huts. Yeah. Now what are we doing here? The emotional burden, the fear of losing the hut, we are just converting them to logical and analytical by analyzing the past data. Yeah. Now the concept, what it says is there are 2 types of burden. We will talk about the primary burden. Why should I worry about my hut getting destroyed? So I am not worrying about the flood actually, because I cannot control that. And I cannot insist the flood to take away only 2 huts. I don't have any control on that. And I cannot prescribe the flood to take away which are all the huts. That is also not in my control. Then what is the point in worrying about losing my hut? So if my hut is lost, I may not have a roof to sleep under for some time, but that is not the actual burden. If my hut is lost, I have to get it renovated. I have to get it back in shape is the actual problem. And what is needed to get your hut back in shape, in place? The only one thing is money. Yeah. Now assume the cost of renovation would be 20,000. Cost of renovation is 20,000. Yeah. Now the actual burden for me is fear of losing 20,000. So if flood hits, this time it could be my turn. So during this unexpected, unfortunate, unforeseen event, I might lose 20,000 is the actual fear. So now we have given the price for this burden, and this burden is narrated as primary burden. So what is the price of the burden? Which is 20,000 rupees. That is called as primary burden. Yeah. And the one good thing here is this is not the burden not only for one hut owner, this is for the entire community. All the 400 hut owners got the same kind of fear. If the turn is mine this time, I might lose 20,000 rupees. It's a common fear for the entire community. So that's how they came together to find the common solution for this problem. Now, what is the solution right now? Each and every hut owner should have the reserve of 20,000 rupees in their pocket all the time. Assume there is a poor farmers or the poor fishermen living in this community. There are two types of problems they are facing. The first problem is keeping this 20,000 all the time in the reserve could be the problem. And mankind doesn't like to spend money for the unexpected, unfortunate and unforeseen events. And this is the second burden. So this burden bring this entire community together, and they were trying to find a better solution than this. And during the brainstorming session, different ideas started flowing in. Finally, they conclude with a beautiful idea. What is that idea? They decided to keep a piggy bank in the village. So, and they decided to contribute little money into this piggy bank. All the villagers decided to contribute little money, and thereby they build a reserve. And the intention of this reserve is only like a flood relief fund kind of. And all the 400 people contributed, all the 400 hut owners contributed this money, and they decided to distribute this money only to the victims after the flood. And as per our previous data, we know the possible number of victims could be 2, because it is expected that 2 would lose the hut. So what did they decide? They decided to pull in some money and kept it in the reserve till the occurrence of the event, and after the event they decided to distribute this money only to the victims. Yeah. Now the question to be answered here is, since this is the common contribution from all the hut owners, they want to move this pooling system in a mutually benefited way. So what I am trying to say here is, they decided to contribute some money, and that money should be like equal contribution from all the hut owners. And what do you think would be the equal contribution? Come, let us apply the logic and calculate this. So the money what they are going to drop in is called as contribution. And how the contribution is calculated? First let us calculate what is the entire loss to this community. So assume that we are also living in this village, so this is our community. So let us calculate what is the total loss to this village. So I can call this as total expected loss. Losing my hut could be like unfortunate or unexpected unforeseen event, but 2 huts going to be destroyed in this village, it's like an expected event. So that's why let us calculate what would be the total loss to our village, and this loss should be shared by the entire community. So total expected loss divided by number of contributors. So specific to this case study, contributors means the hut owners. So what is the total expected loss? It is expected that 2 huts would get destroyed as per the past experience, and each and every hut needs 20,000 to be back in shape, in place. And this total loss should be contributed or should be equally distributed among 400 hut owners. So 2 times of 20,000 is 40,000 in the numerator, and 400 is the group size which comes in the denominator. So the outcome would be 100 rupees. So what does it mean? Every hut owner decided to contribute 100 rupees. So there were around 400 huts, and if each one of them contribute 100 rupees, the total reserve accumulated in the piggy bank is going to be 40,000. Yeah. And this could be kept as a reserve till we get the event occurred. So once after this event, we will come to know who are all the two hut owners who lost the hut. So we will distribute this money. So they decided to distribute this money to those two hut owners. Hut owner 1 can come and take 20,000, and hut owner 2 can come and collect 20,000 rupees. So thereby the piggy bank cycle come to an end. So now let us give the quick definition to insurance. This is nothing but insurance. So what is insurance? Insurance is nothing but contribution collected from many and given to few. So what is the contribution amount here? 100 rupees. Collected from many, 400. Like-minded people having a fear of losing 20,000 in the future due to this unexpected event. At the time of contribution, no one knows whose heart is going to get destroyed. And after the event, they will come to know who are all those two victims, and this money will be distributed. So contribution collected from many, given to few. Yeah. So contribution from many to few. So this is nothing but insurance. Thank you so much. Watch out for the next session, and in that session we will go a bit deeper. We'll take a deep dive and give some flavor to these concepts and understand the advanced concepts. Yeah. So till then, bye bye guys. See you in the next session.